Welcome back to episode 3 of Weekly Q&A with Steph. I'm pumped. We've had some choice responses and comments to episode 2 of Weekly Q&A. So make sure if you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, you go back and watch them as well. There's been some great responses on Twitter and some really hard questions coming through as well. So we're going to keep going with this Weekly Q&A to get through as many questions as we possibly can. Let's get cracking on the questions.
Matt Sharwood asked, many firms are using Spotlight and Crunchboards. How do you help your team interpret the numbers so they maximise value for the client?
What an awesome question, Matt. So we are lovers of Spotlight reporting in here, as most of you already know. And I love what Spotlight does for us in that it makes it really, really easy to present numbers to clients. Well, I certainly find that it does make it easy. But in training any of your team, it's really difficult to get them to be able to interpret the numbers unless you have that training and learning package or platform in place. So we do 3 simple things at Growthwise. All of you are going to need to download, stream, you know what you're supposed to do, not the downloading stuff, a TV show called House MD. You only need to watch 1 episode and you'll get what I'm talking about. So we've modelled a fun Friday afternoon exercise on House MD. And in the TV show, they have patients with all sorts of wonderful illnesses. They bring their symptoms in and they try and then diagnose what will be wrong with them, so their problem, and what the solution should be for that patient. And then obviously they go and implement that. So we've built that for ourselves in terms of how we diagnose our clients' problems. So on a Monday, we pick a client. Then we will basically leave the team to research that client themselves. They might be running a Spotlight report for that client. They might be having a look at vendor counter or deputy or something else that the client is using as well. We come together on a Friday afternoon and we go through all of the problems that the guys have basically bought out that client might have, and then we work on creative solutions to those problems together. And it's a really fun and interesting exercise to do because everyone comes with something to contribute. No one wants to sit there with nothing to contribute. And everyone can kind of understand where other people are coming from. It helps the team understand where their strengths and weaknesses lie in what they can digest from the numbers and what they're presenting as well. And it also is a fun exercise that everyone wants to do. So we're making some of that learning really fun. The second thing that we do is we make sure that part of that client or part of the job for that client, one of the team members presents to the rest of the team. So we do take that in turns and we'll randomly say, okay, it's your job to present to us as if we were the clients, and that person then presents to the team. The third thing that we do is we make sure someone is sitting in on an appointment. So the person might be sitting in on an appointment with myself, and their whole purpose of that appointment is not to take notes, it is not to do any of that stuff. Only purpose is to make sure they're learning the process, learning what works, learning what doesn't work, and being able to critique basically what I'm doing as an example if I'm that person, so that they can learn for themselves. But we base this all around teaching confidence. So if you're standing up in front of a team of 10 people and you've got to present your findings every single week, if you've got to come up with creative solutions, it really builds confidence to be able to have those conversations. And I've found it's the number one thing that people need. It's really easy to teach how to interpret the numbers because that literally is a teachable skill. It's much harder to teach the people skills. So we talked about that way back in episode 1 in that the kids that are coming out of uni these days just do not have those people skills. So we found this mix of doing house together as a team on a Friday, someone presenting, so you're having a turn at presenting to the team on a client's numbers, and then having somebody just being able to sit back and have a look at you in a live situation is really, really helpful and beneficial. So there you go. If you need someone to watch a few episodes of House with, just let me know. Otherwise, let me know how House goes in your organisation.
Cloud Counting AU's question is, how did you turn Growthwise into a brand separate from Steph Hines? How can we build goodwill?
What a great question. So I actually don't think that I have branded Steph as per se, so I'm going to leave that to the side, but we certainly have been very, very focused and very particular in building Growthwise as a brand, and that has been something that we focused on from day one. So we were really conscious when setting up Growthwise that we didn't want to be Smith, Jones and Co. or something and Associates. We wanted to be an actual business that resonated with our clients and that was going to be around for a very long time. So we came up with the name ourselves, and we sat with our designer and made sure that Daniel Borg from Cyborg understood exactly what we were trying to do and what we wanted to do to the outside or external world at the same time. And one of the best pieces of advice we had early on was that your business, whilst being a separate brand, because we are a personal services-based business, it has to embody your personalities as well. So we set out to create a brand or a business that was us as a team in our personality, but was really, really focused on providing that external look and feel that it had its own personality at the same time as well. And all too often I see so many people, they bring in consultants and they try and create this brand for their business, but it's not them, it's not their personalities, it doesn't embody how they act and interact on a daily basis. And that's the trick. This is the key here, to make sure that your business embodies the way your team operate on that daily basis. And on that note, I think the easiest way to build a brand that is separate to one or two people in your organisation is celebrate the team. All too often I see websites and I see businesses where you don't even know who is in the team. I think we've done a really good job at celebrating every single person that literally is in our team over here. We've got everyone on the website. We make sure that all of our clients know who everyone is, and we try and promote that we are a team, and that is part of our personality in business as well. As a side note to this question, a lot of people don't actually want to create that business that is a separate brand from themselves. I know a lot of accountants who have one or two people in their organisations, they are exceptionally good at what they do, and they're not interested in creating that brand. But if you truly want to, it has to be something that is a focus. It's the only way that you're actually going to create that brand that isn't just one or two people and that's going to be there for the long term. So hope that helps. So that's a wrap on episode 3 of Weekly Q&A with Steph, but I really want to keep this conversation going. So make sure you're putting your comments, feedback, anything in the box below. Tell me what's working in your business. Do you have some great training programs that are really helping in being able to deliver that advisory stuff? Did you find something worked really well for building your brand versus something that didn't work well? I'm really keen to keep these discussions going. As usual, head on over to Twitter using the hashtag StephQA and make sure you keep your questions coming. We're loving answering some of these really difficult questions as well. And as always, make sure you subscribe